It's no longer today, but tomorrow. We reported, the court said it's going to rule today, but it's no longer going to be today. It's tomorrow that the PDP will determine or get to know whether or not the Saturday National Convention will hold or not. So the appeal court in Port Harcourt says that it will decide whether the PDP will go ahead with the conduct of the National Convention that's slated for this weekend. A panel of 3 justices headed by Justice Haruna Simon Samani reserved the ruling on today after hearing arguments in the application filed by the former chairman of the People's Democratic Party, which is secondaries to suspend the conduct of the convention. Tonight, we're being joined by a member of the PDP National Convention Planning Committee and the Secretary of the Appeals Committee, a former lawmaker, Senator Dino Melaye. Thank you so much, distinguished Senator, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. The pleasure is always mine.
One of your colleagues that you graduated, that you got an LLB together, I was talking to him yesterday, and I said, and I thought that it's okay to say congratulations on the award of LLB.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about that?
Very proud, and I'm heading to the law school.
That's good. For someone that had been prosecuted for one thing or the other in the past, what does this? What kind of feeling do you have about it?
Yes, I'm matching my practical experience with my academic experience.
You say you've learned a lot, isn't it?
Very well.
You now know better.
I know better, and I will pursue things in a more civilized, legal manner now.
You are now legally matured.
Very, very.
So let's speak about your party. Your party is in a dilemma. It's there's a trouble. I mean, people are anxious, and it's in the air. Whether or not you go ahead with the convention on Saturday, things are still in the balance. How does that make your party feel right now?
Anyway, I want to start by debunking and rejecting that statement that we're in a dilemma. We are not in a dilemma. My party is solid. There is no fear. There's no agitation. The agitation is rather from the opposition party, the APC, who are part of those orchestrating what we are saying.
So it's APC that is doing this?
They are part of it.
But it's Prince Secondas that went to court.
He's a member of the APC. I am telling you that the APC, in their desperation, understand, to create problems in the PDP, knowing fully well that their explosion and disintegration is imminent, so they only want to see how they can disturb the PDP. But I want to tell you that we are not perturbed. There is calmness in the PDP. All our programs and preparation towards the convention is ongoing. As I speak with you, governors are meeting, people are at the Eagle Square, and the convention will hold.
So let me give you an analogy, and these days I do that a lot. So that we can have a practical, because when politicians say they debunk, they deny, your party at the moment looks like a groom that is preparing for a wedding on Saturday, but it doesn't know whether the bride will arrive because of flight issues on the day of the wedding. No. That's what it looks like. No. Because if there's a judgment that will determine the fate of the National Convention on Friday for a Saturday convention, isn't that a dilemma for your party? Isn't that the hope and the aspiration and the fate of your party hanging in the balance?
Sure, I still want to insist that we are not perturbed. We are not disturbed at all.
You are just optimistic.
We are very optimistic because we know the case before the court. And from my elementary knowledge of law, I know there's nothing to bother ourselves about. Everything that has happened within the confines and the provisions of our constitution as a party and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. So there's no point for agitation. Like I said, the agitation and the push and the social media lies is from the NGO called APC, and their implosion is definitely guaranteed. So they should concentrate on their implosion.
Senator, I know you're trying to do some crises.
Not at all. Not at all. I'll speak to you the way it is.
No. Yeah, because the reality is that your lawyers are in court.
Our lawyers are in court because there's a case in court. But I'm telling you that the outcome will be favorable to the PDP, to the surprise of the APC and others who think they can create problem in the PDP. I can tell you, I'm not a prophet, but I tell you with every sense of modesty that our convention will hold on Saturday.
Because you know, in law, the arm of the law, there's a two arm to it, the defendant and the appellant, or whatever be the case.
But some cases are so crystal.
It could go either
No,
way.
some cases are so.
So what happens, Senator, on Friday evening, and the court says stop the convention?
It won't happen.
No. What if it happens?
It will not happen.
It's a possibility.
I am saying that it will not happen.
You're not the judge, Senator.
I am not a judge, but I am a student of the law and a graduate of law, and I can tell you that from what I have seen so far, there is no cause for alarm.
But you're not sitting on the bench tomorrow. You're not one of the judges. And I'm saying that should it happen, is your party prepared for the worst?
It will not happen. And I want to announce to the APC that their whipping, their grinding, their agitation will continue because it will not happen. We are going on with our convention.
But should it happen, what would you do,
we are prepared to rescue this country, and we will take over government in 2023. And APC should be worried about the factionalization and crisis in their own party.
But I don't know. The fire is on your roof in the PDP, not on the APC.
No, there's no fire on our roof. So the APC, as I speak to you, have 6 factions.
Look at what it is. And this is look at the title of the discussion. PDP Internal Affairs.
Yeah, PDP Internal Affairs. That title was decided by channels, not by PDP. And I want to tell you
it's the internal affairs that we're discussing.
We're discussing our internal affairs, but I want to tell you that some of the crisis you're seeing is being propelled. Some of the propaganda and lies is being propelled by the opposition party. And I want to tell you that they should concentrate on the 6 factions they have in the APC. 6 different factions. And that manifested in the last Congress they had. You can see that there's no state in the country where there are no 2 or 3 chairmen and all that.
All right, Senator, maybe because you're a member of the APC, I almost said APC member. Maybe you're one of those that might find his way back to the APC because
I wouldn't be lying. I plead the blood of Jesus.
On what's that?
That's not possible. Once I was blind, now I can see.
You may not return to the APC?
No reasonable, logical human being will go back to his vomit. No. That's the APC is a disaster.
But you were in PDP, you went to APC, now you're back in PDP.
Yeah, because
it looks like you did what you've just described once.
Yeah, for every human being, there's a journey of life. You definitely pass through your Egypt to the land of Canaan. So I passed through Egypt, and that's APC. But I'm in Canaan, and I'm comfortable, and I'm enjoying my stay.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about the appeals committee, which you served as secretary. There are a lot of people who are aggrieved. How many people faced your committee?
First, I want to say that we are very impressed with the PDP, that of everyone who bought from, we had only about 7 to 8 complaints from the screening committee. And out of these 7, 2 voluntarily even withdrew their agitations and complaints. And I was told even on my way here that 2 more have withdrawn from there. So at the end of the day, we only have 2 or 3 cases. And that is very, very impressive, because I know that if the APC is conducting their national convention, there will be over 2,000 cases for the screening and appeal committee to consider. So for us, having only 3 or 4 people complaining, every other thing is by consensus. Shows that, that the PDP is a democratic party, the internal democracy is inherent, and our cohesion is solid, and we are winning disciples on a daily basis. You
had Dr. Dilema or Dr. Okemwa, 3 people that were disqualified from running for office. Did they face the
And I also want to announce to you that they did not even approach the appeal panel at all.
Maybe they were too angry.
That is not correct. That is not correct.
What happened?
These are patriotic party people who believe in the togetherness and the prosperity of our party. I mean, Dilema is a responsible Nigerian. He was a vice chairman southwest of our party. And I want to just tell you that we are a big family, and that is why the APC is afraid. Is
there anyone who was screened out that is now being readopted into the process?
Yeah, the report of the appeal committee, we just concluded this evening, and I'm writing the report as I speak now. So the report will be out later tonight.
Okay, so there is a possibility of some people who have been screened back into the process?
Yes, I will say that you wait for the report to
So there are over almost 40 positions that people are going to be vying for.
Very well.
How many of those are consensus?
Like I speak to you now, I said we only have about 3-4 places where there are 2 or more contestants. But for every other position, it's a consensus, and that can only happen in the PDP.
Oh, so which other position are people now contestation about now?
And even those people where there's contestation right now, there's discussions are going on for the position of auditor, for the position of the national, the deputy national chairman North, you know, and maybe the national youth leader, you know. But even talks are going on to make sure that things are, as a family, who are not APC, we will always get through.
I mean, but your party, some members of your party have accused the party that it never keeps to its word. For example, your party promised that it's going to keep to the 35% affirmation for women in the position. Your party promised that there are some positions that will be ceded to the women, aside the national women leader position.
Even as I speak with you now, governors are meeting with the women. And that is a progression, that is a positive discussion. And I know that women in the party will take women very seriously. We have respect for women, and the party will not jettison our promise on the women. We respect the women. We are not, like I say again, we are not APC. We are an organized, progressive, national democratic party.
Did you put a benchmark on the age of those who want to contest for the party national youth leader? Because we've always had overage youth leaders in your party.
No, after the president signed the not too young to rule bill into law, the party amended our constitution, and age 40 is the peg for the youth leader. You can't have anybody in the PDP as youth leader who is older than 40 years. Yeah, no.
So as it stands right now, with the issue of those who are aggrieved, the consensus and all of that, you are working to ensure that all of the positions are consensus. Is that what the party is working on?
We're not working on consensus. It came naturally. Because
it didn't come naturally.
It came naturally because
you were convincing people to step
down. No, what
down
we're saying is that
to have consensus.
These positions were zoned to caucuses, were zoned to zones, were zoned to states. So states can sit down, zones can sit down and agree amongst themselves that this is the person we want to present. Not that it was forced by the party or it's part of... No, it's because of the cohesion, because of the unity, because of the democratic maturity and leadership quality of the leadership of the party that you see that there's consensus everywhere, which is practically impossible in the APC as manifested in the last Congress, where you have A division, B division, C division, and the presidential one will be katakata for the NGO called APC.
Senator Dino Melaye, former federal lawmaker from Kogi State and a member of the PDP National Planning Committee, Secretary to the Appeals Committee. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, but I was hoping there would be enough time to really discuss, but that's fine, that's okay.
I think we tried.
Another day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Melaye. Bye for now.